Welcome to the number one gaming podcast in the world, the 5th episode. Welcome
To the fifth.
I don't think we're number one podcast. I don't even think
We
we're
are
in the top
definitely
200.
the number one podcast in America, and I couldn't say that if it wasn't true.
Episode.
Episode.
Yeah. We are fucking ready, man.
What's up, gaming
We're killing it.
community? We're eating chicken. We're waking up. We're drunk, and we are ready to podcast. Let's do it.
Shit.
Just do it.
King Joffy Jules just walks in whatever time he wants.
Every time.
He's just 2
Joffy
hours
Jules.
late to the podcast. Me and Frank been sitting here waiting this
Just waiting
past 2 hours.
I actually
Yeah.
fell asleep waiting for it. You know what? As long as we're here, man,
Yep. Frank,
people need us and we're out there. Yes.
what have you been playing?
Games.
Video games.
Video.
Video juegos.
What have I been playing? Honestly, I feel like I haven't been playing anything. I've been playing PUBG with Jules
Mhm.
and just like meditating on Elden Ring, and that's pretty much it, man. I haven't been playing Valkyria Chronicles. No, anything, nothing. I've been playing nothing.
In the other podcast, you talked about some XCOM a little bit. It might have been like one of the early ones. And I've been
Yeah.
really feeling like I want to play XCOM. And I know that's like a bad idea because that game it crushes your spirit. Like you put all this time into these characters and then they die and then you just have to
Yeah.
restart or save them.
Yeah.
But
that
would you
happens
suggest
sometimes.
that I play that?
Yeah, absolutely. XCOM War of the Chosen, XCOM 2 is
Mhm.
it's probably one of my favorite strategy games. I mean, I'm in love with it. Yeah, it's great. It's
I
absolutely.
think I have it on Steam actually because I recently got my PC back and I was looking through my Steam and I do have XCOM 2, I believe it is.
Yo,
So
can I
maybe
ask you a question just to roll out this podcast?
roll out the podcast, Frank?
Jules, Ruckus, what kind of person gets locked out of their laptop for like 2 years,
Christ.
bro?
2 years.
What's wrong with you?
2 years? Is that how long it's
Yo,
been?
how do you
You're
get
just
locked
gonna-
out of your
hold up.
laptop for 2
You're just gonna air my dirty
years?
laundry?
I'm just gonna air
On
that
the
to the whole
podcast, bro.
world. The whole world
Like,
knows now.
nobody had to know this. This was between us.
Yo, you said
And you know
that
the worst
in the
part?
text the other day, and I just couldn't stop laughing because I was like,
You know
"Yo, wait a minute!"
You know the worst part? I thought it was like a tech issue. I literally thought somebody hacked my computer and like they changed everything, right? I really just forgot my password. Like it was, you know how I fixed it? All I did was I looked at the tip. You leave yourself like a clue what your password is.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, and then you knew.
And-
Yeah,
I was like, oh, and then I just got in. I felt so stupid.
yeah, like that's like I don't even understand that, man. There's ways around
Jules,
Yes,
Jules,
sir.
what you been playing, buddy?
2 years.
2 years. I have been playing PUBG with Franklin Williams. Playing a little bit of that. We getting some kills here and there.
We're getting better.
Yesterday, I turned a corner and shotgun Frank directly in his face right before I shot
Yo.
the enemy, and that was really nice. I
Wait, is
enjoyed
it
that
friendly
moment.
fire? How does that
There's
work?
friendly
What the hell?
fire.
Yeah,
I didn't
there's
mean to.
friendly fire.
Oh.
But I shot him directly in the face, point blank, before I fought the next enemy.
He had it
He's been on
coming.
this-
He had
he's
it
been on this
coming.
kick recently where it's
He
like
had
every
it
time
coming.
we're in the middle of a fight and we're doing some shit, he just kills me. I'm like, Jules, why are you doing this?
Yeah, one fight we were laying down a long hallway as enemies approached, and he proned with his like machine gun with a bipod, and I proned directly behind him with my machine gun in the bipod.
All right, so for the listeners, because I know, I'm not asking for me. For the listeners,
right,
okay.
what is proning? You know what I mean?
So proning means laying on the ground like a fucking snake. Okay, so he's snaked
You know
up.
me.
He's bricked up,
Uh-huh.
snaked up down a
Yeah.
long hallway,
Bricked
waiting for the
up.
enemies. He's bricked up, rock
Nothing
hard.
but
and
brick.
He's
waiting-
rock hard.
and he's
Yeah.
waiting for the
Yeah.
enemies
Uh-huh.
to turn a corner, and I laid up right between his legs, like right behind him, snaked up,
Yo,
bricked up, snaked up.
his machine gun is on
But
my
there's a
ass.
lesson to be learned there is that machine guns kind of buck. They buck. So you don't want to be aiming like right past someone's asshole crotch at the enemy because you will just tear up your partner. I did
This
that.
podcast has started all wrong. You're bucking in Frank's
I'm
face.
bucking.
And I don't know what's going on, man. So you've been playing some PUBG.
PUBG.
That's
Play a little
accurate.
PUBG.
That's
Yeah.
accurate.
You're bucking.
Guys,
Uh-huh.
unrelated
There's
to
nothing
this
weird
bucking,
about it. There's nothing
Yeah.
weird about it.
I want to tell you about a new League of Legends strategy that's been going around. That's been taking over the
Okay.
globe.
I'm
Okay?
ready to hear
Alright.
this.
So you guys,
Nico mid?
I don't know how many listeners play League of Legends, but it's a popular game, right? So there's 5 roles, right? There's top, there's jungle, there's mid, there's support, and there's AD carry. So recently, a lot of supports have been going top with Smite, and they literally just abandon the lane the entire game.
What?
And just they abandon the lane, top lane, the whole game, and they just they just become a second jungler, and they just because they still have utility as a support, and it has a ridiculously high win rate. Mostly people do smite Janna top is what they do, specifically smite Janna.
Yeah, because you can't catch her, right? So it's
she's just really good at she's really good at like she
can
she's
avoid
good.
a
She
lot
doesn't
of
need she doesn't need a lot of gold, and they take a support item with them, and so the top laners usually get super farmed enemy top laners. But that doesn't really matter because top lane is fucking useless. And it's
you're on an island.
Yeah, you're on an island, and it's extra useless now because like you can't use teleport until much later in the game.
Really?
Anyway, so I just want to tell you about this strategy that's taking over League of Legends communities left and right.
Yeah, I feel like an old man right now. Like that's not my League of Legends. I don't know what the hell's going on right now.
It's making everyone really upset, but it works really well. I did it.
Is that happening like every
now.
game to you?
No, but any like high elo stuff or like when you start climbing the ladder, it's very effective. So yes.
Frank, when's the last time you played League?
It's been, I don't know. Jules, when was the last time I played League?
A year and a half ago, maybe. I don't know.
No.
You ever miss it?
Well, like at first, no, but then like I keep getting these texts of like pictures of Nico, and then Jules tells me he's playing all my characters, and like he's telling me these horrible builds for them, and then I get very upset, and I'm like, "You son of a bitch!" Like I obviously have to come back and show him how it's done because I don't know what he's doing, but I don't respect it and don't like it, and then like
you don't want to see Jules on a Morgana. You just don't want to see anything like that.
Yeah, I don't want to see Jules on a Morgana. You know,
I don't think anybody
wants
to see Jules on a Morgana. Honestly,
no. I'm like, what is he doing?
Okay, so you used to play Shen, Ruckus? I feel like you did.
Yeah, I played pretty much the whole cast. I was probably the best League player of the three of us.
Like honestly, skill for skill, you climb pretty fast. It's a shame you got locked out of your laptop for 2 years.
That's why he stopped playing. No, I know.
I'm really upset that Jules never 1v1 me. I don't like Jules is such a humble, nice, not really competitive dude. But like I always have it in the back of my head. Like I wonder if I was better than him. Cause I really think I was like at least mechanically.
Yeah, that would
have been fun. He understood the game better than I did, but he was never like competitive enough to actually just 1v1 me. And I know it doesn't prove anything, but I always want to fight Jules and everything for some reason. Cause he's so nice and like
fuck him up.
Yeah, I just want to, man.
Yeah, like Frank, like you need to hurt his pride because his pride is too big. So it's okay to just fuck Frank up. I don't want to fuck you up.
And I already did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you already do it. Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I don't think
that was
that
old
ever
news.
happened. Like I don't even remember
that happened. So what I've been playing, fellas.
Yeah, what have you been playing?
Yeah, thanks. Ali World. I told you guys about that last week.
All right, that game is flips.
That game is fun as shit. It can't be stated enough. The game is pure adrenaline. Every time I play it, I'm excited and I'm having a great time. I'm ready to go play some more. I did jump back into Pokemon a little bit, but really right now it's just busy work and collectathon, and that's not really too exciting. So I've been kind of like tapering off on the Pokés. Got a new purchase. I got a new game for on Valentine's Day. It was kind of the thought was quality time with the lady. I'm gonna get her something that we can play together because I'm just obsessed with games and she's just down and just chill. So I got her this game called Night in the Woods. You guys have never heard of it, am I correct?
Sounds spooky.
So it's not spooky. It's
I'm scared.
It's actually a side-scrolling adventure game with really deep nature.
That sounds really pretty cool, actually.
It's like a mature story. Her thoughts about it after playing it for a couple hours were not too exciting. She's hoping it gets better. She's looking for more mystery.
Oh wow!
And she wished the game asked more of the player and had more gameplay elements. But she's not really the type to like see the potential in something early on. Like let's say we watch an anime, she's like, it's not that good. But every anime gets way better as you watch into it. You know what I mean? So she's not very like patient.
You got to build the world up.
Exactly. Like the game is laying some groundwork, and she's just like, "Where's the murder mystery?" It's like relax a little bit. But from my perspective, it has really clever writing, effective dry humor. And it's really smart with its sarcasm. I feel like it's hiding a real deep sadness that how after high school we all kind of go through like maybe a minor depression. Maybe not all of us. Jules probably was never depressed in his life, but after high school you kind of hit like a little depression and like it's like the world is opening up and maybe you're disappointed in the world or something like that. But it's just a very subtle tone in the game. It's like a really serious subject, but they don't really make it so obvious. The story and the feeling of the story is in the dialogue is like an undertone that you kind of have to pick up on your own. And as far as like the gameplay, it's like a really basic platformer. There's some like Guitar Hero mini games that you have to kind of like she plays guitar and some basic puzzles, but you get to choose the dialogue, kind of like what are those games like Western RPGs where you choose the dialogue and it affects the outcome. Like your Telltale games, your Walking Deads, things like that.
I like that.
But I'm really interested in it. But she's kind of like, if I don't remind her, she probably won't play it again. So that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Night in the Woods. Okay.
Night in the Woods. Yeah, if you look it up, it's actually really cool. I heard about it in another podcast. Yeah, it's like you play as a cat, and the characters are really interesting though. Yeah.
Now it's a 2-player?
No, we were just
1 player.
I was letting her play because again the gameplay is not too demanding and she's not the best gamer, and we were just kind of going through the story together so we can kind of like bounce back information off each other and thoughts about the story and just kind of like bond on it, you know?
Okay. All right. I respect it.
Yeah, so we're gonna head straight into news unless you guys got something else you wanted to add for what you've been playing.
I was just gonna say, why don't you guys, you and her, get on some League of Legends? You know what I'm saying? We got a 4-man team. Let's start our ranked squads. You know?
You thought I was bad when I first started that game.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Oh my god,
she'll be good. She'll be good.
Okay.
Get her on
Jules, I was never headbutting trees in the forest.
No, you weren't headbutting.
Never
You were
happened.
pulverizing.
I was probably practicing my mechanics.
When you die,
But,
I will give you eulogy about that pulverized.
The disrespect. All right, so news. So
All
the
right.
first bit of news that I want to get into is Resident Evil 4 remake is in the works. I mean, that's to be expected because you know they did the first remake. They did that a long time ago, but Resident Evil 2 remake was a huge hit. Resident Evil 3 remake was somewhat of a hit, but Resident Evil 4 is one of the greatest games ever made. So of course they got to give that a little love, even though they
kind of a flop, wasn't it?
Shut
Not
up.
a
Resident
flop.
Evil 4?
No, 3. I'm saying Resident Evil 3 was kind of the remake, wasn't? It didn't splash
Compared to
as big as 2.
Right, but I mean 2 is a better game. The original 2 is a better game than 3, so that's kind of to be expected.
I played 2, the remake recently. And
what do you think? Scary?
yeah, you know, one thing that really bothered me, honestly, is like I don't
How many
know
shots
how
do zombies take to die?
Oh my god, man.
you gotta
Like,
gotta
yo,
conserve your ammo.
I fully understand, yo, if you're shooting at their kneecaps and you don't know what to do, right? But like, it's actually almost better to shoot their limbs and just walk past them because of how many bullets it takes. Like, you might as well just shoot them in the legs and then run away from them.
Do you
Because it was
remember
like-
the original Resident Evil games? Because that's how it was.
But like, okay, but like, if you're shooting them directly in the eyes, right? I'm like, okay, I'm the best aimer. You know, I got the Sharingan out. I'm just like, this is the best shot. And then I land like 5 of them, and they just like, and they fall down. They're dead. And I'm like, whew, that was a close one. I only got like 2 shots left. And then he just gets up behind me like, I'm still here. And it's like, why? How is this possible? It was just like, it was very upsetting. Very upsetting. But
so
the
if
game
you
was
want
beautiful.
impact on your shots, man, Resident Evil 4 is gonna be the game. Anyway, I'm sorry, I cut you off. The game is the game is gorgeous.
The game is gorgeous, and honestly, like it's true what everybody says, man. Mr. X, like there's nothing like in a horror game, right? Where like you're playing and you feel like, okay, like, you know, as scary as it is, when you clear an area, right? Like Resident Evil 2 does a very, very good job of like, you are never ever safe. You're like, yo, you're in the main save part of the game in the main area where the save thing's at, and you started the game. Nah, he's coming. Like, nah, he's still coming. And you're just like, oh no, like, yo, you hang out for too long, you're like looking at something for too long, and you start hearing those footsteps, boom, 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 and you're like, oh my god. Yeah, it was
that dude is really intimidating.
Pretty horrifying. And there's just some weird, like, you remember that weird creepy, like, I think one of the scariest things in 4 was like, I think you take like an elevator to go like down somewhere, and there's like this black thing, I don't know, that like it would try to kill you, and it was like undefeatable. Like you had to like rocket launcher it or something, get like a special item to kill it. But it was like horrifying. And there's some things like that in that game at the bottom of, you know, Blight Town. And pretty horrifying, honestly. I'm gonna say that. But I like the whole time they just kept talking about like, we got to get out of this police station. And I was like, man, I can't wait to get out of this police station. And then like you get out and it's the end of the game. And I was like, man, I wanted some more. You know, I was a little like, but then I never played Resident Evil 2, the original. So I don't remember if that was like it. Probably maybe that was it. You know, there's like a little bit more, but that was pretty much the whole bag. I was a little sad by that. But anyway, that was my experience.
Jules, do you have any Resident Evil memories from 2 or anything like that? Besides letting your sister play for you?
No, that was really the only memories, making Brittany go through doors. And then I played a little bit with Frank on like, what was it, like a demo for one of the PlayStations or something? We played like a little bit of a demo for one of those. Maybe it was 4.
I don't even remember that.
You remember that? Yeah, never mind.
Nah, I don't think that was me.
Also in news, moving straight along, Frank, for the past like 4 episodes, you've been kind of taking pot shots at CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk. And I know it's out of love because you had like high hopes for that game and you were disappointed.
A little bit.
But did you hear about that game?
No, I haven't.
Really?
No.
So they updated Cyberpunk with a huge overhaul. They added new weapons, additional apartments,
Hey.
impossible romances, hairdressing mirror,
Finally.
the rebalance of loot, the economy, gameplay, ray tracing, visual upgrades, overall NPC and AI
Nice.
upgrades for crowd
Okay.
reactions, things like that. And
Mhm.
yeah, they added a ton of stuff, pretty much everything everyone was hoping for at the beginning. So they say they
Nice.
added now, and I think most of the upgrades are just for like PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. People
Did
on
they-
PS4 and
Mhm.
Xbox One are kind of still out of luck. What were you gonna say?
I mean, screw those guys anyway. But like, no offense to anybody who has a PS4 or Xbox One, but you know, you're playing on the inferior console. What I will say is, did they upgrade any of like like a big part of the appeal to that game to me was like cyberware, Like, is
Right,
there
right,
more cyberware? I mean,
I
I'm down
don't-
with more weapons and things like that, and like obviously
Yeah.
customization, romances, all that jazz is cool. That's a big part of it.
So
for me,
a lot of the upgrades that they said are like they put it in vague wording. So like I've heard about specific things that they did that are not in the wording that they listed. So I can't say for sure what they did or didn't do because I'm not going to boot that game up and play it right now.
Right.
But
yeah.
I would say if someone like you who's really like who likes that game and who's kind of waiting for something like this, I would say look into it. See
Yeah,
what
I
they did.
might,
Maybe it's
might,
worth jumping
might
back
give it
into.
a quick replay. Yeah, I actually started a replay again because I was like, maybe they fixed some things because I heard a patch came out, and then I was pretty disappointed because it wasn't this patch. So maybe this is the one. But
From what I've been hearing, everyone's really happy with it, and that's not you don't really hear good responses from people playing that game.
One thing I will say about Cyberpunk though, honestly, is like even though people get like hate on it so much, it's because they expected it to be like Zeus, but it ended up being like Hercules. You know what I mean? But like still, it's like still like again like dollars for dollars, the best city in any game. I think like there's a lot of
You said
like
the best
really,
city?
yeah, like
Ooh, I wouldn't say that.
100%. Like the depth to that game. Again, like you can't walk one block without discovering like 10 new quests and side things, and you know what I mean. Like it's how there's
Are they worth
empty
your
games.
time, or is it just busy work?
Well, see, that's the thing. There's interesting quests. Like there's a quest with like a AI vending machine that's talking to you, and he's like, "Yo, I don't know how I got this intelligence," and like stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Like things like that are pretty cool. Like just like good like stories in the side quest, and like there's a fair amount of like go kill this guy or go like grab this guy from this building that's loaded with guys, which is like also fun to me. Like I mean that's fine. It gives you your not really dungeon crawler, city crawler combat. Like that's cool for that sort of thing. But you also get like some of the cool side quests, like the crowds. Like I was playing, like I said, I replayed last time. I'm walking and we're looking at like one little kid because I'm playing with Fiora, and she's like, "Oh, look at that little kid, follow him." So I'm following this little kid, and I turn around, there's another one of the little kid. I look back, turn around again, there's two. Look back, turn around, there's five. And I was like, "Yo, what is happening?" And like, that was kind of horrifying. So maybe, I mean, I thought it was funny. I'm a big fan of Bethesda games, so that type of crap just happens. But yeah, I mean, not the worst thing in the world, but like, yeah, it was a little wonky. The cops were yeah, that was a thing.
They fixed the cops. I heard something about that.
Yeah.
What went wrong with the cops?
It's fine even if they like they would just, if you did anything wrong, they're like
Kill you.
behind your shoulder with the gun on your head already, right? And it's like it's fine, like you know what I mean. If they're gonna chase you and kill you or whatever, right? You can't barter your way out of it. Like that's fine, right? It's like GTA or something. But it was like they would just teleport to you. So like you'd be like on a high rise somewhere, like far away from everybody, and like you snipe someone, and all of a sudden they're just like get on the ground. Except they don't mean get on the ground. They mean I'm going to kill you, And like it was a little much, It was just kind of ridiculous. But so that's cool. Yeah, I'm excited.
So, sorry, unrelated. What were you saying about the No Man's Sky special promotion?
I don't know. I mentioned the special promotion for No Man's Sky. I do know that it's coming to Nintendo Switch soon, and that I do know it's also cross-platform. So it's something that we could all play together. And from what I've been hearing, they've been upgrading that game nonstop since it first came out. And I know like when it first came out, it was like the worst backlash of any game ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To the point where they were actually giving like refunds, which is unheard of.
Oh, geez.
Was unheard of
really
before Cyberpunk came out. But they've been just like, apparently they've been upgrading it to the point where people are like, stop upgrading it. You've already given us too much.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Nah, we're not stopping anytime
Help
soon.
me.
This is seriously like what's been going on. They're just like, we're gonna give you so much stuff that you're never gonna want to play anything else. And they just been going hard with updates and adding stuff. And at this point, I think it's a really fun game for like, you can play with your friends. You can actually explore and all the things you thought you'd be able to do that they promised at the
Actually
start of
do
that
now.
game. From what I hear, I don't want to just
Yeah.
like speak rhetoric and just tell you guys the game is great and I haven't even played it myself, but from what I hear, it's really worth checking out right now. So I was thinking we could all at some point jump into that. But around the corner, there's I don't know if you guys have ever seen that meme with like there's this guy and then the Undertaker's behind him with like the serious face. So I think that's every other game, and then behind him is
Oh
Elden Ring.
God.
So there's no way I'm playing anything. I'm getting like my feet wet in anything this close to Elden Ring.
Yeah,
That's
it's too close.
5 days away now.
Yeah, it's a little too close. But I will say that like I watched like some hour-long video of just like the revival of No Man's Sky, and I will say like like it's a pretty heartwarming story of like again like they couldn't put out what they wanted to put out at first. They released it and it was like terrible, and then like they received so much like online even like criticism and stuff that apparently I think whoever was the top guy was basically like, guys, like lock yourselves in this room, don't look at any social media, and like we're just gonna only focus on fixing the game. Like we're not like I'll put in all the stuff that we need to put in, all the stuff that we envisioned, all the stuff that we want, you know, and maybe like scoop off the top of like what people are saying about like the positive feed. Like he actually had a thing where like I think he wrote a program or something, or people manually went through and like all the actual positive feedback, like positive criticism, like they went and just like scooped that out of social media and like took it and put it in the office and was like this stuff, and like they actually did that, which is like, you know, like coming from so many games where it's like even PUBG where it's like certain things I'm just eternally upset about, you know, and it's like it's really heartwarming to see like, wow, this company like
working on it
actually really cared. Yeah, they cared so much, you know, and like that alone makes me really want to play the game. But like going from what it was, which was like, oh yeah, quote unquote, you know, randomly generated things, to like now it's like there's actual like stuff in the world, you know what I mean? There's like creatures and like it's like that's pretty interesting. So like there's a lot of stuff now, whereas before
I think you only see that
more hollow
from developers that are not owned by big corporations, because they're it's the developers Hello Games, so it's a little company in I don't know, somewhere in Europe, but like if they were owned by Activision Blizzard, and first of all, the game probably wouldn't come out that bad, but anyway, if it did, they would just be on to the next thing because they don't have the freedom to just work on their game and make it better. So it's kind of, and also like on Twitter, I've been seeing a ton of freaking amazing looking indie games to the point where I'm just like, why are there this many cool looking indie games? I mean, indie is like, indie is blowing up, man. Like a lot of a lot of the creativity in gaming is going there. And I was also thinking deeply about like, what is it about FromSoft games that really makes us so loyal to them? Like, what is it in game design where something like a Horizon, where you like, it doesn't really get me excited? I mean, I see what they do great. The visuals are incredible and everything like that. But like the gameplay itself, it feels a little bit devoid of soul. And I know a million people that would hear this would say, you're an idiot. You don't know anything about games. It has a ton of soul. And I played the first one like a lot and I enjoyed it. It was a good game.
It looks like a good game.
Like, what is it about Souls games that kind of just captures the gamer so much? And for me, like what's important to me are a few things I've kind of broken it down to. Number one is like immersion. Number two is like customization. Like I asked you guys previously about like your avatar in a video game. And how important is it to you? And for me, that's something that's really important. I don't necessarily like to play as a character that I can't really get immersed into.
Same.
So and just freedom of outcome. So like if I like, that's why I like RPGs a lot, because I can replay the game totally differently if I want to. It's not just such an experience that's handed to me on a platter, like this is what you're supposed to do,
making different builds
and right, like you have like a freedom in your experience to try a multitude of different things, and I think that's what makes those games. But there's something else to it though. Like there's something that for me that Capcom games do with Monster Hunter, with a lot of their games. I don't know what it is though. I can't put my finger on it, but Capcom and FromSoft for me are like the only developers that kind of give me that feeling. I don't know. I didn't even know how to put it into words.
Like,
but
I mean, first and foremost, I got to say it. There's a little bit of souls in those games. You know what I mean?
There we go.
But second of all, like maybe could it be like a hand holding thing? Do
you know what, it could be that like in Souls games, they don't people complain about this. They throw you in there and they're just like, you're gonna figure it out. They respect your intelligence.
Exactly. That's
like we don't know what the best way is. Maybe you do. I don't know. Figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I guess maybe it's that. Maybe they just let you be a big boy and a big girl and just like
exploration
just play the game.
Potent.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I mean, I will say the same thing. Like when it comes to like I said it before, but like the Uncharted games, for example, like that sort of thing where like overall, you know, the whole experience when I finished the game, like, wow, it's a good game, but it does kind of feel like, I don't know, limited, I guess, in scope of like, I mean, and it is what it is. Like I guess it's perfect for what it is, but like there's not a lot of customization. There's not a lot of, it's like everything's very like
Linear.
planned out. Yeah,
Yeah.
linear, and it just kind of seems like I don't know, like
Like they had
like,
one idea for how you're supposed to play those games,
yeah,
and they give it to
basically,
you,
yeah.
and it's good, but it's like you feel like you're in a box almost, and you want to break free and try different things. And,
right. Yeah, exactly. Like I would say, like with the Souls games, like, yo, you want to go up to go to the church, you want to go down to go to Blighttown, like that's on you. We're not going to tell you which one's the hardest. Figure it out.
Like how you want to fight
Like,
them, it's up to you.
Yeah, what kind of build do you want? You want to destroy your character with shitty specs? Do that. Like
you never really feel like you understand every single thing. Like we still debate about like the story in the games and what really like what was meant by what. I was explaining to Melly the other day.
Oh man,
she's kind of like looking at me with no interest. I was telling her about like the story in Demon Souls and like in the Valley of Defilement and what happened with like just the boss of the Valley of Defilement. What's the boss's name in the Valley of Defilement again?
Maiden Estrella.
Yeah. Thank you for your memory. But yeah, like
that's just like close to my heart,
experience, bro. That experience, like, and then what was it when you get her soul and you find out that she has like the dirtiest soul of all, and just like the things and like they leave you breadcrumbs all over the place, and you kind of you're left there to just ponder and think about it, and it captures you. It's not just like video that they showed you and just explain some generic ass story.
Yeah,
like there's a world here.
Earn it.
Put the pieces together.
Yeah.
What do you think your perspective matters? And he's like, people still don't really understand the story of those games. Like, I don't know.
But yeah,
while we on that tangent, Jules, what you been watching?
Peacekeeper. The final episode of the first season was amazing. We had some cameos from the actual Justice League on it. It was great. It was intense. It was great.
I heard he's bisexual.
Oh, who are we talking about? Oh, Peacekeeper specifically.
Peacekeeper, yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I heard John Cena made a point to make his character bisexual. I think that's kind of awesome.
I have not seen any
bisexuality
in that.
Maybe it's just like on the wiki, like if you look
it
on
the wiki, just put it out there.
That's kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, he hugs birds. I don't
know if that counts as bisexual. I think that's something else. But we'll chalk it up.
That's pretty cool, though.
So you've been watching some Peacekeeper. You've been enjoying it.
Yo, my PC can't run Elden Ring, guys. What am I gonna do? I think I got to spend $2,000, man.
You could just yeah. You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just buy an upgraded processor and graphics card.
Or I could just.
I was gonna say
$2,000.
Can you
I could
do that?
just give up and like play on the PlayStation 4 like Ruckus.
But you have a base PS4, right?
Yeah, base.
I wouldn't suggest the base PS4.
Do you guys?
I mean, I was looking up how they run. I was looking up how they run in the PS5 and the PC. And first of all, PS5 and PC are relatively similar. But as far as the PS4 Pro, it's really not much of a difference. I mean, instead of 38 frames per second, you're getting up to like 58 frames per second, which is like, that's great, but that's pretty much it. You got like some slight visual enhancements, but you're not really missing out on anything in the experience. You won't even notice the difference. I feel like I'm trying to
really quick, because
over here, Frank. What you been watching, man?
I watched this movie called The Waterman. It was produced by Oprah Winfrey with Fiora, and it's about like some little kid who's like mom has cancer, and then he meets with this random little punk girl, and they like wander through the woods to go find some stone. And it was like a pretty slow burn at first, but then it got to be a pretty interesting family movie. And then we both agreed that like the ending kind of sucks, but it was cool.
So it's kind of like a drama, or like a.
It was like a little drama. Yeah, it was just like, he doesn't like his dad. His dad came back from the army, and he's all strict, and he's like wants to be a comic book kid, and the dad steps on his comics by accident. And he's like, Dad, what the fuck? But yeah, and then like you find out like the punk girl's dad like is like, well, I don't even care where she's at. Like, I'm just drinking in my trailer. And it was like, it was kind of funny. But like but certain things about the movie were cool, because it was like, is it magic or is it not kind of things, And I mean, it was like a C- rated of that, but it was really cool, which I like OG Pan's Labyrinth throwback. But it was like they're walking through the woods at some point, and there's like all this snow that's coming down, and they're like, yo, it's the middle of July, like, oh, that's crazy. And they're like dancing in the snow, and it's like, it's cool. And then like I'm totally spoiling the movie, but like you find out at the end there's a giant forest fire happening in this forest, and actually that was the ashes blowing from the fire, right? And it was like, oh, wait a minute, like there's a reason all these animals are going crazy in these woods, It was like, that was pretty cool. Like I thought that was kind of cool. I couldn't like heavily recommend it or anything, but it was decent, What
about you guys ever heard of a TV show called We Are All Dead?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, is that good?
Have you seen it?
No, I just seen
No?
trailers and
I
such.
feel like I've heard the name, but that's
So it's one of those. It's a Korean series. Ever
Okay.
since I seen what's that Korean show that came out that everybody was crazy about? Squid Game.
That's what I was
Squid
saying.
Game.
They're in
I was
prison.
gonna say
kind of. They're not
Zero
really.
They're
Man.
not
I
in
don't know
prison.
why.
They're not in
Yeah,
prison.
yeah.
They're not in
Squid Game.
prison.
Death prison. That's
Silly
what I'm
goose.
thinking of. Like, hello?
Yeah. So ever since Squid Game, I've been kind of like getting into Korean stuff. They have
They have a lot of
kind
good
of like
stuff.
yeah, they kind of have like a renaissance going on over there as far as their media. They're just on top of things. But the series to me is it's a zombie outbreak series. It takes place in like sort of like a school setting.
Okay.
It's kind of what you would expect. There's a lot of drama. They're really good at drama. They take like a lot of stuff really seriously. They don't. It's not as irritating as the crying in anime, but they do their fair share of crying as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it actually makes sense in the context of the show. Yeah, pretty much what you would expect. Just a lot of zombies, a lot of hard decisions. I mean, I kind of like it so far. I'm excited to see more. I've only seen like a little bit of it. You know, our schedules are a little bit busy, so I haven't been able to just sit there and binge it. But I'm definitely gonna get back into that because I kind of like zombie apocalypse stuff. Yeah, I think it's right up my alley. So that's what I've been watching.
One thing I was like recommended like some actually from Square Insider back in the day. I had a friend recommend me like some Korean movies, and like ever since then I had a lot of respect for like that media scene. And I think in general like cookie cutter Marvel films nowadays in the US, right? Like the recipe is so figured out that you kind of know what it's going to be before you watch one of those movies. And I
Yeah.
think like sometimes it's pretty interesting, like because when you go to like a different area, and even if it's like a similar type of like the theme is similar, like the whole way they do it, you know what I mean, is kind of different. And I don't know, sometimes it could be like pretty good, you know. Still
I
say
think
Old
that's
Boy is probably one of the man, that's top 10, you know.
I think that's what kind of like attracted me to anime from the beginning as a child is that it's from a total different train of thought than what we're used to. Like American cartoons were so the same. You know what I mean? And they just
Yeah.
you see something like anime and it's like, wow, this is like completely different. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of
Also
cool.
just
Different
better.
cultures.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly
So
I want to get into some foreign stuff again, like some shows or whatever, but
broaden your
time,
horizons a little
man.
bit.
Yeah, it's been like a while, you know. Like I definitely would like to watch some. Probably again, like as far as media goes, like I mean, like obviously it's like Japan for anime, but like shows or movies, I would be interested to watch some more South Korean stuff because like how you say their stuff is like it's like deep, it's heavy as crap, like it's super heavy a lot of it.
Kind of dark. A lot of it is
Very
really dark.
pretty
Yeah.
damn dark, yeah.
Yeah.
But like you feel it, you know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever watched the Mr. Vengeance trilogy with Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Old Boy, Mrs. Vengeance?
I've never heard of any of that stuff. Jules,
Yeah.
you heard of any of that?
Never.
None of them have anything to do with each other. If you've never seen it, go watch Old Boy and do not watch the American remake because it's garbage. And the first one is not old, and you know it's still good to watch. Highly,
Send me those
highly
titles in the
recommend
group
Old
chat
Boy.
because I'm probably
Yeah,
gonna
for
forget
sure.
that.
Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance is pretty good. Sympathy for Mrs. Vengeance was okay. Crazy.
So anything
stuff.
else we're going to talk about before we end this podcast?
Pretty much out of time. Anything you wanted to squeeze in there, Jules?
Not
Oh,
necessarily.
one thing I wanted to say, not to one thing I will say that I was it was a horrible shock for me, right? Because I'm on Twitch and I'm just looking around, seeing what the Twitch people do. I see a guy named, I don't know if you know him, his name is Asmongold. Asmongold.
I know that name.
Nah.
And yeah, no one's probably heard of him. He's pretty unknown streamer. But I see he's playing a little game called Elden Ring, and I was like, this can't be real. Let me click it. And he's
Why would
playing
you
Elden Ring.
click it?
And he's playing it. And I was like, and I watched him like fight one guy, and I was like, get out of here. Like, yeah, I was like, this
How
whole
dare
time I
you.
haven't seen it. I was like, get out of here. And I was like, that can't be real.
Right.
Yeah, I was
I don't
so
know
upset.
if you're new to Twitch, but anytime a new game is coming out,
I know people get early
someone
releases.
always
but
has it early. And as far as FromSoft, they never punish anyone for playing their games early. That's they're known for
okay, maybe
like
that's-
saying you better not play it, and then they never follow up with anything. So
Okay.
people say fuck you FromSoft,
Okay.
and they just play their game. So
That's fucked up because like
Yeah.
honestly I figured like okay other games like I know like King of Fighters is out and it's not out yet, you know, but people are playing it and things like that, but like I was kind of horrified to discover that. And I was like like and I had to turn it off. Like that was but I'm super excited about that game, can't wait. By the next time actually
King of Fighters
the next
is out, by the way.
yeah. Oh, it's out now. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it
Well,
came
it's a
out on the
24
17th.
hour. Oh, well then. Never, I don't know anything. It was like a 24 hours from now, but I guess I was watching something 2 days late. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about Elden Ring. I'm theory crafting on some builds, and unfortunately, I don't have any time off, but I'm gonna figure it out. So
That's kind of what I was like just trying to get you guys a theory craft last time. I was asking you guys like, what about your character? Where is he from? What's he about? Because you're not gonna just play as the starting class. Like you're gonna make your character into what you want it to be. So you guys could have answered that question in the past, but we're out of time for today. The next time we talk, Elden Ring will be out. Next Saturdays, we'll talk. Elden comes out in 5 days, so don't expect much out of us next week besides Elden Ring talk. I'm not getting any news together. I'm not playing anything else. I'm not watching anything. I'm just gonna be all Elden Ring. So that's pretty much what you can look forward to.
Elden Ring. Hell yeah.
So
I'm gonna be
in closing, Frank,
we are Phase 3 Gaming Pod on Twitter. We are Phase 3 Gaming Podcast on YouTube. Phase 3 Gaming, Spotify, Apple Music, RSS.
So on YouTube, starting with Elden Ring, I'm going to be uploading my entire initial playthrough of Elden Ring. So look forward to that with the commentary. I'm going to be playing that. Yeah, I'm going to upload the entire playthrough. Hopefully Frank or Jules does something like that themselves. We're going to start putting gameplay on the YouTube. So it's not just going to be the podcast clips. We're going to have new content coming there soon. So look forward to that. So with that being said, Frank, take us out.
This has been your 5th episode of the Phase 3 Gaming Podcast. Thank you all for listening. And I'll see you guys in the Elden Ring, huh? Elden Ring.
This phase is over.